Let's look at some Trump news, huh? How about that? Donald Trump is trying to stay relevant. I'm not going to talk about how he allegedly thinks that he's going to be reinstalled as president in August, like like with the QAnoners and whatnot, because that's probably him just trying to be stay in the discourse a little bit. But one thing that is kind of interesting is Facebook gave a 2-year ban to Donald Trump. What Facebook's 2-year Trump ban does and doesn't do. The social network says the former president will receive a 2-year ban following his actions surrounding January 6th. So maybe he'll get back on just after the midterms, or it will be in time for him to run again. This looks like this was from when he had COVID and was driving around, but probably not. He doesn't look great. You're a nice guy, but you're low energy, right? So Donald Trump's Facebook ban will last at least 2 years, the company announced on Friday. Facebook said that the former president's actions on January 6th, which contributed to a violent mob storming Capitol Hill and staging an insurrection that led to 5 deaths, quote, constituted a severe violation of our rules. Gee, you think? And that it was enacting this policy change as part of a new approach to public figures during civil unrest. Facebook added that the 2-year sanction constitutes a time period, quote, long enough to be a significant deterrent to Trump and other world leaders who might make similar posts, as well as enough to allow for a safe period of time after the acts of incitement. However, Facebook still has not made a final decision about the future of Trump's account. The company said that after 2 years, it will again reevaluate whether there's still a risk to public safety and potential civil unrest. So he's essentially on Twitter parole, that would be like a parole. He's going to go before like a Twitter parole board hearing or something. I swear to God, I'm only going to post cat videos and cute little kitty cats and doggies. No, don't worry. We won't do anything bad. Quote, we know that any penalty we apply or choose not to apply will be controversial. Oh, yeah. There are many people who believe it was not appropriate for a private company like Facebook to suspend an outgoing president from its platform, and many others who believe Mr. Trump should have immediately been banned for life. Nick Clegg, the company's vice president of global affairs, said in a blog post, later adding, the oversight board is not a replacement for regulation, and we continue to call for thoughtful regulation in this space. Sure, Facebook, you want regulation. I mean, guys, Facebook is hugely to blame for Trump in the first place. If Facebook had never left itself open to the Cambridge Analytica theft of data, right? Keep in mind, millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans' Facebook data was stolen and utilized by the Trump campaign, by Steve Bannon, by the Mercers to influence Brexit. This is a big part of the information that was passed over to Russia to skullfuck the election. A insane amount of electronic skullduggery. Like, I think that stuff matters. I think it's worth repeating, both the Trump campaign and the Russians were targeting swing states where Trump won, like specifically, targeting voters like white women with immigrant fears and anti-Muslim fear-mongering, and they were targeting black voters, black males between the ages of 28 and 45 with, Hillary Clinton's racist and corrupt, just don't vote, they all suck, right? Just, don't throw away your precious vote to the Democratic Party when, they all suck. And, we've seen the outcome of Donald Trump. We've also just seen the outcome of Facebook on so many boomers, how it's destroyed, just the minds of so many boomers. I mean, you probably know an uncle or a father or a parent or an aunt or whoever it might be in your extended life who, Jesus, like we out here on the Central Coast, we had the whole busloads of Antifa propaganda going on during the rise of Black Lives Matter. I have a music student who's like 11 years old, went to the Black Lives Matter rally in his town, in the middle of the day, like noon, right? And it was his first protest. And due to all this right-wing fear-mongering on Facebook, the Antifas are coming, busloads of Antifa. There were men with guns on the roofs of the businesses in that area. And right-wing San Luis Obispo District Attorney Dan Dow did nothing about it, even though they were brandishing weapons publicly in the state of California, which ain't exactly open carry, right? So that's what has happened. Facebook is not entirely, but definitely has to share a good portion of the blame around just the crazy amount of polarization and anger, and yes, I know that neoliberalism and capitalism are all part of that too.